Allora, avevo chiesto a Chris Noessels. Chris Noessels è uno dei maggiori interaction designer in Cooper, in California. Cooper, non so quanti di voi la conoscono, è uno dei più grandi player a livello di interaction design. Chris ha scritto un libro che si chiama Make It So. Make It So è un racconto, una sorta di passaggio tra l'interaction design, cioè tutte le cose che vediamo oggi, e quello che è già stato presentato nel corso degli anni, dei decenni, all'interno della fantascienza. Quindi ha cercato di fare un parallelismo fra le interfacce che vediamo, i Minority Report, piuttosto che non in Gattaca, piuttosto che non in altri grandi classici della fantascienza, per cercare di capire se c'è un legame fra quello che noi vediamo al cinema e quello che potrà essere, oppure che si è già manifestato. Allora gli ho chiesto, in qualità di esperto, se mi dà una mano a spiegare quali potevano essere le relazioni col wearable computing. Gli ho mandato le domande e lui gentilmente ha risposto. Io adesso vediamo di...
Ciao a tutti. I could not make it over to Italy this year, but Cesare was kind enough to send me some questions by email that I will answer in video and hopefully see you sometime in the future. I think that wearable computing is part of the next big thing. It's really too tempting for us to categorize technology just solely based on its location on our bodies or on a computer or on a mobile device. I mean, that we can wear it is really the first part of understanding how it fits into our lives, but we also need to understand how we listen to it and how much it knows about the world around it and how we in turn talk to it. Portable is something that you can carry, right? Like when you want to use it, you still have to like find it and then orient it, activate it, and most often to look at it. Wearable tech, on the other hand, is something that's on you and always available and always sort of oriented in the right way, and that's a pretty major difference. So for this answer, I have to ask if you are familiar with Moh's scale of science fiction hardness. Moh, in this case, is M-O-H-S. Anyway, it's a categorical way to distinguish between genres of like space opera, like Star Wars, with its sort of like frozen lasers, lightsabers, and more like hard sci-fi, like say something that's entirely possible with modern technology, like the tech in the movie The Andromeda Strain. So when you want to look for realism, you have to head to harder science fiction, like Star Trek Holodeck. Well, probably not in our lifetime. But if you look at Sunshine for their sort of like hollow room, much more likely. Star Wars holographic chat, I think you probably look to the video phones of Blade Runner for a little more realism. Even Minority Report had some prescient and realistic stuff, like their Identiscan advertisements. A little scary, but probably quite likely. And in my opinion, Gattaca is one of the scariest movies, if only because, like, why wouldn't it come true? But one thing that sci-fi is wrestling with is the notion of agentive technology. Take, for instance, any of the scenes where you see a hero sitting in a gunner seat or firing some weapon, and on her display, she sees two crosshairs. One is sort of where the weapon is currently aiming, and the other one is where the bad guys are. And if the computer knows where the bad guys are, why is it waiting for the good guys to aim the weapon? It doesn't make a lot of sense, but the challenge for sci-fi makers is that how do you keep heroes heroic if computers are doing all the work? It's a tough challenge, and one not a lot of them have risen up to yet. Okay, if I'm being optimistic, I want to say that we'll have information superpowers. We'll be like the Steve Manns of the world, or maybe Nell from the Diamond Age. accelerating information creation and exchange and synthesis and pushing humanity to the next level. But if I'm being realistic, I have to look at the biggest real world example that's already out there, and that's Google and the World Wide Web. I mean, it's the most powerful repository of knowledge that we've ever collected, with search engines that can quickly find answers to any question and allow global collaboration to the very front of knowledge, yet most people still use it for cats or porn or gossip. So it sometimes seems that humanity isn't limited by technology, but by its own humanity. So maybe it's safest for me to sort of place all my bets on Genevieve Bell's prediction that wearable tech won't sort of save us, and it also won't sort of come and kill us in some dystopian future. It will just be a mundane complication in our lives. This is a tough question, and in the age of network effects, I can't really say how long it takes for something to become a mass phenomenon, but I do know two clues to know when it's happened. The first is when your parents ask you about it, and the second is when we see cheap knockoffs from the East appear on the market. Those are two pretty solid bets that a technology has become a mass phenomenon. How is our work going to change? I mean, we're going to have to improve our own skill set, and certainly the way we think about what it is that we do. I mean, the age of one user using one computer to complete one task is kind of already behind us. We're going to have to develop new ways of designing for groups of people, working in ecosystems of devices and networks to accomplish a variety of things, even when their attention is drifted somewhere far away. It would be possible for our clients to be with their customers or users for incredibly long stretches of time, and clients aren't used to that. They're used to clamoring for seconds of attention. So I think some of the new skills that they're going to have to learn are things like restraint, when to hold back, when to not interrupt or flash an ad, or even sort of like tuck on the sleeve of their users. I think they're going to have to learn respect, and also about how to become a positive social status, or rather a positive marker of social status. That's going to bear a lot more weight than it did before if we're wearing it. We're fashion, and a lot of clients, especially technological clients, don't have the faintest clue on how to do that. Certainly. Oh, I think any industry can benefit, but in order to do so, all industries are going to have to adapt. Agencies like Cooper usually have their primary focus on clients, but I would bet some cool concept projects come out of studios like ours. I would also keep a sharp eye on schools and universities, because in those places, the students aren't bound by the same real-world constraints that we are in agencies, and are explicitly challenged to push the boundaries of knowledge. I can't say anything about my current clients. We have to respect their privacy, but each year at Cooper, I lead a series of Halloween-themed interaction design blog posts for the Cooper Journal. And this year we've got some pretty ambitious stuff going on for that. And my favorite involves wearable tech and werewolves. If the Maggio, spelled M-Y-O, from Thalmic Labs turns out to be as awesome as the demo looks, I'm really looking forward to playing with that. It's only the sort of input side of the interaction design equation, but as far as being indistinguishable from magic, that's pretty up there. Thank you all for having me on screen at this event, And before I go, let me introduce you to the main reason why I couldn't be with you today. May I introduce Miles, Christopher. All right. Say ciao, buddy. Ciao a tutti. Grazie mille. Ciao.
That's for you. Ok. Questo è una delle ultime cose che ha detto, è esattamente quello che cercavo di dirvi all'inizio. Parlando di Maggio, di Talmi Club, cioè del bracciale da usare come interfaccia. Allora Chris dice, ci interessa di più la parte di input, perché siamo quelli che lavoriamo dietro le quinte, quelli che dobbiamo progettare queste cose, quindi il fatto di dare un input, quindi studiare come si muovono i nostri nervi, i nostri muscoli è sicuramente per noi dominante come interesse, però d'altra parte a voi potreste dirmi, da utenti cosa ce ne frega, e sarebbe una giustissima cosa, perché ovviamente chi lo guarda pensa a come poter comandare le presentazioni, a come comandare oggetti, a come comandare il proprio computer. E la grande differenza che oggi cerchiamo di rimarcare è proprio questa, cioè il fatto che di tutta la tecnologia che c'è e ci sarà, noi abbiamo un diverso punto di vista.